you artists out there. This is Miss Eiswald coming at you from Falcon Heights Elementary. For today's lesson, I wanted to go over a page from the 3rd through 6th grade distance learning art book. It's on showing depth. That means how to make things look near and far on a flat surface. On page 40, well, it's page 40 in my book if you numbered the same way I did, there's a cool drawing activity using 1-point perspective. I worked hard in my sketchbook following these steps. This is a drawing we would have been doing in the art room in 5th and 6th grade, but I think you 3rd and 4th graders can catch on too by looking at each step one by one, and all you need is a pencil, a ruler, and if you don't have a ruler, I even used just a bill I had to make straight lines. So I followed each one of these one at a time. There's room after the directions to draw on a blank page, or you could do what I did and draw it in your sketchbook. The cool thing about this drawing is the unique perspective. That means point of view. For this drawing, it makes it look like you're really small down low, looking up at these tall buildings. It's kind of an optical illusion. As you're drawing, if you make a line and you think, that doesn't really look right, trust your instincts. It's probably not right and you need to fix it. You're seeing the front of the building as well as the side of the building. And of course, the fun part, when you're all done creating as many buildings as you want, is adding the detail, and that's the part I'm on right now. Architectural details, windows, signs, things like that. Another kind of drawing I'd like to share with you that highlights depth is a still life. I set up a real still life here, a simple arrangement of some apples. I looked closely at them and drew them how I seen them. But one thing I was working on, besides realism and drawing what I see, is to make it look three-dimensional, or that my flat piece of paper looks like it has depth. Can you think of a couple ways that I did that? One way is that I did some overlapping. Overlapping means I drew this apple in the background. You don't see all of it. These two apples are partway covering it up. Another way I showed depth is doing some shading, going from light to dark, pretending that the light source was coming from the top. So the light would hit the top of the apple, and where I did some shading is at the bottom. Also a little bit of shading or shadow on the table. Here's a fun idea to try at home. So if you haven't done the city drawing yet in your sketchbook, go ahead and do that. Come on over. Think of a simple object. It could be like a pine tree, it could be a Pokemon character. I'm gonna do sailboats. This is called showing depth on a flat surface. Just like in our city drawing, first you need a horizon line. I'm making mine a little bumpy like waves because my object is going to be a sailboat. The first object I'm going to draw is going to be large, and it's going to be at the bottom of the page. So I'm just doing a simple shape down here. This is called the foreground. If I want a sailboat to look far away, there's a couple tricks I can do. I can make a sailboat smaller, and if I put it close to the horizon line, it looks like it's far away. So placement, where I draw it on the paper, and size are two ways artists show depth. If this is the foreground and this is the background, I can even do more sailboats here in the middle. Size-wise, I did it about, I would call it a medium size, somewhere in between these two. And I can even show one right next to it. Maybe they pulled up close to do some talking, and it's slightly overlapping to show depth. This is a fun drawing to try at home, repeating lots of objects. Try size and placement. Have fun creating.